Hey y'all, I'm coming today with just a quick little video. It's Sunday. Um, Not too long came from church. I was hot, so I didn't even think about like keeping on the dress that I had on to do a bump, you know, or anything. So no bump today. Um, we are 37 weeks, 2 days pregnant. Our weeks change on Fridays. And yeah, I'm still pregnant. Yeah, still pregnant. Um, I had, I'm still doing my twice a week non-stress test, once a week amniotic fluid check. My fluid is actually really, really good. Still, the lady that does it, she said that I'm in the high percentage as far as fluid is concerned. Y'all, this is my push hair. Yeah. I did it myself, which I'm so proud of. So hopefully this is my push hair. Well, ain't no hopefully in it. It's gonna be my push hair. Um, I had an appointment Friday, which y'all, I actually felt really bad because I'm going to the doctor so much that I made an honest mistake. Um, I went to the doctor Wednesday and they was like, we don't see an appointment for you. And I'm like, well, I had an appointment today. I went on the time, everything. And so the lady pulled it up and she was like, well, ma'am, it shows you had an appointment yesterday at 2. And I was like, no, it's supposed to be today. Every time y'all sign me up for an appointment, y'all give me a printout. Well, y'all, I was wrong. It was supposed to be Tuesday. It was supposed to be Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday. And one of the things, about going, my husband is in the military. One of the things about military, a hospital like here, we live on a very large installation. One of the largest on this side of the country. And there are a lot of pregnant people here. So appointments are, it could take you a while for an appointment. Y'all, I don't know if it was just the hormones, emotions, I don't know, but I was standing at the desk and I almost started crying because I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to have this Hep C or whatever test done before I'm 37 weeks. I'll be 37 weeks on Friday. What am I supposed to do? And the lady was like, well, ma'am, let us look. She said, well, we can get you in Friday. Just to tell y'all, as always, you can't see it. That is our Florida State Seminoles flag. And that's my exercise ball, but I'm using it as a birthing ball. I'm in here today. I'm on the thing is on my vanity, and the lighting is better. Because I have like my vanity lights on, and then I have a little makeup mirror that it has lights also. I'm in here because my mother-in-law is here. She got here this week. And she will be here pretty much till we leave. I mean, she's going to be here for the rest of the pregnancy and until we leave from here. Because about a month and a half after our son is due, we are actually leaving this installation. I have said it in another video that we are going to Germany. We leave for Germany in October. Now, so yeah, that's why I'm in here, because she's in there, she's on the phone and stuff. Like I said a minute ago, we recently got in from church. And I'm so tired, y'all. I'm so tired. Now, I'm just gonna tell y'all, and it's not funny. My husband laughed. My first lady laughed. My bishop laughed. Like, everybody has laughed, but to me, it was not funny. I was heartbroken. So Friday, my husband was off. Like everybody, all the soldiers, unless you had, something specific you had to go to work for Friday, pretty much everybody was off. So he was able to go to my appointment Friday, since it was an actual like midwife appointment. And we went, and all last week I didn't even go to volunteer at my church because I was like, you know what? I'm in so much pain. I'm hurting. I'm having so much pressure. So when the midwife, I had to see a new midwife because I had missed my appointment Tuesday. So I saw a new midwife, and they did the Hep C or whatever thing, and she explained it, which I had already looked it up. And the nurse that was in there was just like, this is it's just a bacteria that I think he said 1 out of 10 people just naturally, have on their skin. And that, for an adult, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't hurt us at all because we have, good immune systems. But a baby being born, it can hurt the baby. So they check all pregnant women. And, if you have it, they give you an IV with penicillin. And it'll kill, it'll protect the baby from the bacteria. But then also he was explaining that if you get the IV so long before you, like if you're on the IV so long, it'll actually just kill it in the mother. Y'all, I could be misunderstanding on that part. But anyway, so I was like, oh, okay. I had already, researched it or whatever. So they did that. And so the lady, the midwife was asking me, well, how are you feeling? And so I was like, well, I've been hurting so bad. I've been having a lot of pressure. I've really been struggling this week. And so she was like, okay, well, normally we wouldn't normally check you, but, if you're having this many problems, I will go ahead and I will check you. Y'all, she was like, slide, come on, I'm going to check you. My husband was sitting over there. And she was like, it's just going to hurt a little bit. First of all, I did not know when they are checking you. I didn't know that it could be so uncomfortable. I was like, ooh, Lord. I just knew. Then, and one of the Facebook groups I'm in, like a wife, just like a random wife group, a lady had posted her maternity pictures, and they were so pretty. But I noticed that her due date was August the 5th. Our due date is August the 4th. So I commented, and I was like, oh, congratulations. My husband and I, we're pregnant with our son, and we're due August the 4th. So you do the day after us, and I was like, I'm really hoping and praying that he come a little bit, maybe like 2 weeks early or something. And so she was like, yeah, oh, congratulations to you too. She was like, well, I got checked today. Now that was Thursday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. She was like, I got checked today, and my doctor told me that I was already 1 centimeter dilated. So I was like, okay. So again, back to Friday morning. So she was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and check you. I'm like, yes, okay. Y'all, I done laid up there and went through all that pain for nothing. She said, nope, you're completely closed. I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you're completely closed. And see, I honestly thought that I had some kind of movement or something, because this whole week, last week, I felt like I was having like period type cramps. Like I have never, and I honestly thank God, I have never been one to have like painful periods. Never in my life. But, like I'll get like a cramp, but my cramps I know people who literally have to take off work when it's that time. Like those first couple of days. I've never been like that. I have always been where I'll have like a cramp, but it'll be like a cramp that, like my cramps, I can feel like I'll feel it in my toes, which if that makes sense. So I had been having like all week a lot of pressure, pain, and then I was having those period like cramps. So I just knew that it was my body getting ready for something. I mean, I really honestly just knew. So y'all, needless to say, when she said, I guess it was how she said it that made my husband laugh. He just sitting over there just damn giggling. And I'm looking at him like, if my eyes or some knives, you would have some cuts right now. Because I am, like, my feelings were actually hurt, y'all. Like, oh my God. So she was like, well, that's unfortunately, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because we can check you whenever you want us to check you, but it's a chance, it's a possibility that our information may not be what you want to hear. So, yeah, so needless to say, I was very heartbroken. Um, at this point, at this point, I mean, I'm not mad or anything, of course. I mean, it's my child. He gonna come when he ready. He gonna come when him and the Lord ready for him to come. But at this point, ooh, y'all, he just moving up some. I'm just like, you know what? I am still like looking at like exercises and stuff like that. I have looked at videos. I've seen people doing like Primrose oil. I've seen people say castor oil. I've seen people say fresh pineapple. Now I am gonna try the fresh pineapple. I'm gonna try that. I know you could try sex, but like I said at the beginning of the video, my mother-in-law's here, and yeah, sex has actually been I'm talking low because I'm talking about sex, y'all. But it has actually been painful during this whole pregnancy. It has, I guess because we don't really, it's not that often, and everything's so tight down there. So yeah, so I mean, if I can put a sock in my mouth or something to keep me from being loud. Sorry, TMI, but it's really, it's painful. It has been. Yeah, basically the whole pregnancy. So I am gonna try. I'm gonna see if we can try sex, and then I am gonna try the fresh pineapple. But other than that, no, because like I told my husband, I understand. Like in my family, I have had people swear by castor oil, and all that, but. I've also, now that we have the internet and now that we have stuff like YouTube and people can get information and you can touch more people, I've seen too many stories, even on YouTube, I've seen too many stories of people actually losing their babies because they got to 9th month, they wanted to try castor oil, and because of the castor oil, the baby didn't make it. Like, y'all, if I got to be pregnant all the way up to 40 weeks, hell, if I got to go to 42, no Lord. But if I got to be pregnant all the way to 40 weeks for my child to be healthy, that's just going to be it. I'm not going to do nothing that could possibly, even in the slightest, put him in any kind of danger. No. So, no, I'm just going to deal with it. Like I said, the fresh, I love pineapples. So the fresh, it has to be fresh, can't be canned. So the fresh pineapples, I love pineapples anyways. So that's not going to be a problem. I mean, I love my husband. I love being physical with him. So that's not really a problem. It's just, we are kind of noisy because y'all, that's something else. Like it's so much stuff that just really like puzzles me with pregnancy, and I never knew that intercourse could actually be kind of painful. I never knew that. I mean, so I don't know, y'all. I'm just gonna stop talking about that. But y'all, that's it. Like I said, I done got home. This is like a little spaghetti strap shirt, skirt, dress. My husband loves this dress because it really shows off my bump. Hold on. Okay, y'all, that's him in all his glory. This is the top of my stomach. That is my whole round stomach. Yeah, I'm trying not to show my boobs because I'm comfortable. But I have actually had a compliment. I was in Walmart the other day, Friday, and the girl asked me, we was talking about, she's gay, and she said that her girlfriend, when her girlfriend was pregnant, that her girlfriend tried castor oil, and she said, honey, don't do that. I said, no, I'm not. She said, well, the only thing it did on my girlfriend was make her really bad constipated. So I was laughing. And she said, well, how many weeks are you? And I said, she said, how far along are you? I was like, I'm 37 weeks. And she was like, you don't look like you're 37 weeks. And I was like, yeah. And everybody says like you don't look like, my stomach is huge. Don't get me wrong, my stomach is really big, but as far as weight, I am still smaller weight wise than before I got pregnant. My husband told me, he said, I'm so proud of you because, sometimes, people just turn to a house. He was like, and you not. He was like, you still look good. So yeah, y'all, my stomach is big. That's, yeah. But again, I have a lot of fluid. But y'all, that's it. I was just coming really quick. Oh, I did want to say that as far as pregnancy symptoms, I am still having a lot of, cramps. I am having pressure. And the number one thing that I'm going through right now is heartburn. The stuff that was working, like my almond milk, I was drinking vanilla almond milk. That was working like a charm. I actually like that better than like I got the new Alka-Seltzer heartburn chewables. I like the almond milk because it's natural. It's it's not a pill or it's not a chewable. I like that better than the Tums, than the Alka-Seltzer. But even the almond milk, I had to drink like a cup of almond milk and take 3 of the Alka-Seltzer heartburn chewable things, just for the heartburn to go away, because nothing was working. So yeah, the heartburn is real. I did a pregnancy plan, a birth plan. It was pretty much just basic stuff. I mean, nothing like super complicated or anything. And when I went to the doctor Friday, I gave it to the midwife. She looked over everything and she was like, they pretty much can accommodate everything. I mean, I didn't put nothing on there crazy, or, because I've seen some that's like, you might want to go to a specialty center for some of this stuff. I mean, again, I'm not saying if, however you choose to, do stuff, but like they told us in in one of our prenatal classes, some stuff they just can't accommodate. You may have to go somewhere like specialty. But y'all, as always, I do thank y'all for watching. I make videos strictly because I like doing them. Eventually, I had recorded it, but I didn't post it. I need to do PCS. If you're military, you know what PCS means. It's permanent change of duty station. Since we are moving, I need to do a PCS video. I will. But as always, y'all, I do thank y'all for watching.